This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. For more great podcasts, head over to bigheadsmedia.com. This week on a new TV Tuners, Swanson and Kyorain go back to school.
Ding ding. Swanson, you cannot copy my homework.
It's too late, I'm already doing it. You can't stop me.
No!
Hey, someone slapped all my books out of my hand.
Nerd! And Stairmaster finds a non-sexual way to eat a hot dog.
Why are you eating the hot dog sideways?
I gotta preserve my masculinity.
All that and more on a new TV Tuners. Hey there, folks, and welcome to TV Tuners. It's a television podcast for the true fanatics. It's a weekly dive into the latest in TV news and reviews. I'm your host, Swanson. With me, as always, is my co-host and racist news head, Stairmaster.
What are you doing here, Swanson? This is a podcast for true TV fanatics.
Are you saying I'm not a true TV fanatic?
You only watch Friends and Cheers. You need to watch HBO's Oz.
Okay, how many seasons is that?
1 or 2, I guess, but it's like... I actually do not know.
Oh, exposed. Fraud. And with us, as always, of course, is our other co-host and... cop who's just trying to hit on some chicks. Kyorain.
Swanson, I have to say that podcasting vest is extraordinarily flattering on you.
Oh, thanks. It has a nice little flare of like a microphone on it.
And
it says
Mr.
Podcaster. Well, yeah, it says Mr. Pod's Podcasting Network on the back.
Are we still a member of that network? I thought we quit.
No, we're clearly still a member of that network.
I mean, we do play the Mr. Pod Podcasting Network at the start of every episode, right?
That's right. That's the one you hear.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, by the way, Oz, 6 seasons.
Ooh, that's too many.
But they're all like 8 episodes long, except for season 4 for some reason. Which is split into 2 parts, like... of 8 episodes each.
Okay.
Well, I think that Swanson should just watch... Wait, I forgot what it was called. Orange is the New Black instead.
Same vibes.
Isn't that longer?
Yeah, I think.
Oh, okay. I mean, Orange is the New Black is sort of just Oz, but with a female prison, right?
I guess? I really couldn't tell you. I don't really know what the vibes are in those 2 programs.
It's true. I don't
Orange
know
is the
either.
New Black is about women.
Is there a Christmas episode of either of those? Maybe we'll do that this year.
Do women have an inherently different energy when they get to prison than men?
Yeah.
All right, let me see.
What are you Googling there?
I'm Googling
prison.
if there's a Christmas episode of Oz.
He's Googling women in prison.
How do women feel about prison and being in prison?
Yeah, he's reading a study that someone did, I'm sure. That's definitely not sexist anyway.
There is a Christmas episode of the Wizard of Oz TV show.
There's a Wizard of Oz TV show?
Apparently. Now, hold on. I'm getting confused here. Okay, this is very weird. Look at what I just found. From Oz.fandom wiki, there's one about HBO's Oz, but there's also one about There's also a search result about the Wizard of Oz TV series.
It's like a sub result too. I guess they're both on fandom.com, so
they're both on
Google got confused.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
wait.
I got you. So Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz is a cartoon show. I got you.
Okay, hold on. This is Oz. This is Oz TV. And the other one's just Oz. Never mind.
I like that they did have to be like, oh yeah, this is for the Wizard of Oz fandom. And this, of course, is for Oz, the TV show fandom.
Yeah, different things.
Yeah, I would assume so. No one gets red slippers in the Oz, the TV show, right?
I don't
Unless,
think
like, they get bloody feet.
Yeah, maybe there's like a violent shower scene.
Why is it called Oz?
Because that's the name of the prison.
Why?
I don't know. Bye.
Okay.
Oz is the nickname for the Oswald State Correctional Facility, formerly Oswald State Penitentiary,
There we go.
a fictional
That
level
makes
4
sense.
maximum security prison. The nickname Oz is also a reference to the classic film Wizard of Oz.
Oh, well, I'm glad they settled that one.
Moreover,
They're like, also, it is Wizard of Oz anyway.
Moreover, most of the series' story arcs are set in Emerald City, a wing named after the setting from the fictional Land of Oz, in L. Frank Baum's Oz books, first described in The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, 1900.
1900. God damn, I didn't realize it was that old.
Yep.
Pretty old.
Yeah, pretty old. So,
Yeah.
that's...
No
That's some
Christmas
good info
episode, but one of the episodes does have a guy doing narration about Christmas at the start.
Close enough. So yeah, welcome to the show. Of course, as always, we're back with another regular episode. More on this later, but we're doing a show that was demanded of us by Stairmaster for reasons that we'll get to. But for now, hey, listen, if you're listening to this podcast and you got any quips, you got a comment, a question, foresight, otherwise.
Well, first off, that's our job to do those on the pod. So stay in
Yeah.
your lane, bitch.
But if you have any of them, you could send them to us, and we could read them aloud on the pod. Yeah. Send any of that stuff over to us at our email address, tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com. What's that email, Kyorain?
I'm still reeling from this reveal. Whoa, we've got an email. It's tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com.
That's right. You can be like Geo, who sent us this email. A power vacuum appears.
Oh, no.
Fellas, looks like this little leftist TV show you got is finally taken off. TV show. I can't even walk my dogs without hearing people talking about TV tuners. The fellas want to be Stairmaster. The ladies want to be with Stairmaster. And all of Twitter is obsessed with the Swanson and Kia will they won't they energy.
What?
And with the Joe Rogan show teetering on the precipice of cancellation, the podcast game is about to be looking for a new king. I think a celebrity guest host is just a gimmick to get you in the limelight. So which of the following celebrities do you want on your show? Okay, there's 3 options here. 1. Steve Buscemi. 2. Steve Buscemi kinda high. 3. Steve Buscemi too high. You fellas chew on that. I would, but I gotta get to the oven and flip over 20 individual chicken nuggets. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that
Don't
sucks.
want limp nuggets, Geo.
Yeah, I want Steve Buscemi, who is completely sober, focused, and ready to answer like all of our questions that we've got prepared for him.
Well, yeah.
So first, Steve Buscemi, you want number 1.
Yeah.
You want a number 1 with no fries.
We gotta consider what happens if 9/11 happens again.
That's
We
true.
would
Is
want
Buscemi ready?
I like to think he is.
Yeah.
I know.
Well,
I'm
also,
not.
having Steve Buscemi on and asking him about 9/11 could potentially lead us to eventually have Mark Wahlberg on and ask him if he's ready.
Or we could end up offending him.
Which would lead to us being brutally assaulted.
Or yeah, but that would make for good content.
It's true.
Well, I just want to grill Steve Buscemi. Just ask him some hard questions. Put him on the hard grill, as they say.
Yeah, that is what they say. Yeah.
So yeah, maybe we would want him slightly high if we're gonna hard grill him.
No, I like sober Steve Buscemi. We want a completely maybe kind of high Steve Buscemi could be fun. I think we're agreed that too high Steve Buscemi is not the energy we want.
What would that even be like, do you think? Do you think he's like paranoid high? Or just like giggly high?
It's just like that one clip of him being like, "You think God ever stares in wonder at what he created?" It's just that for an entire podcast.
You can't hard grill that. That's like...
It's true. You can't hard grill someone who's too high. They're gonna slip out of your you're gonna fall right out of the grill.
That's why cops hate weed.
You'll ask a question and you'll get an answer, but it won't be to the question you asked.
They'll just be saying quotes from Deus Ex.
And it'll broaden your mind and open new doors for you, but it won't answer your question.
I think Kinda High Steve Buscemi is perhaps the most fun, but if Keo wants to like grill him with some real questions, then I guess regular Steve Buscemi's fine. What questions do you have in mind, Keo? Like, what was it like playing Donnie in The Big Lebowski?
Now that's a soft question. That's how you get him like comfy with the interview. But then I'll be like, where were you March 24th, 1997?
Where were you January 6th, 2021?
Yeah. Where were you September 11, 2001?
Oh, no.
Even though we know the answer, you want to grill him on that?
We gotta make sure his story, he has a consistent story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're the expert in this hard grill thing. You've sort of trademarked and everything.
Yeah.
We should make a show about grilling people.
Yeah.
A show for important interviews that the world needs to hear.
A show about grilling people that stars Hannibal Lecter.
Maybe not.
And if we like, basically, it could be a jovial interview until we get fed up with them, and then we switch to the hard grill.
Yeah. We've got like a buzzer that sounds when the hard grill switches, but it's like only one that you hear in post, so that the interviewee does not know.
Yeah. But we all know. Like
the viewers are like, "Ooh, it's hard grill time." I gotta stop what I'm doing and listen to the hard grill portion.
You know how they start playing the music at the Oscars if your speech goes on too long?
Yeah. That's what this is?
Yeah. We have that play when it's time for hard grilling.
Sounds like fun.
We'll have like people talking about like, yeah, I only skip to about the part I hear the hard grill song. And then I know the shit's going down.
Oh, it's a real episode because it starts playing like 5 minutes in.
People are going over the episode. They said they didn't hard grill this week, so skip this one.
We have a whole episode with no hard grill. Fans revolt.
I feel like
we can't do it every time. Like, we always have contentious interviews.
Okay. So who would we have on that we wouldn't hard grill? I feel like everyone that you could name would be dead at this point. Every famous person like that. Like Gilbert Gottfried's dead. Norm Macdonald's dead.
I don't know. I feel like if we got like
Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, if we got Ryan Gosling on, there's no way that we would be like hard grilling that dude.
Okay, so we're just like, so Mr. Gosling, have you ever had a girlfriend? Dun 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 dun. When he said yes, that starts playing.
Yeah.
You just hear us yelling, going into uproar.
What should the hard girls theme be?
I'm thinking classical music.
Yeah, it should be like
classical music or New Jack Swing, like the Sonic CD soundtrack.
What if it's just work that sucker to death? Come on now, work that sucker to death.
No, it's the American Boss music. Whoa,
Yeah, perfect. That's how you know it's time to hard grill.
What a horrifying! They picked the scariest boss music for like the wackiest boss fights, where each one ends in Dr. Robotnik being emasculated in a unique manner.
Yeah. Well, here's a question though: if our whole premise is that we put people on the hard grill, how will we get guests?
Well, you can't. I guess you would have to do a couple episodes where there's no hard grill, right?
Yeah.
I feel like you're overestimating people, Keo. Like, there's always going to be dudes who have hubris and think they're up for it.
That's true.
You think they'll get more from it. who think they can beat us.
People who don't do their research and go on the Eric Andre
The
show.
television tyrants.
Yeah. Well, also, we're definitely not going to get people like not every hard grill isn't going to be like super like they're not going to play around with us, you know.
Also, we're not going to be like the Eric Andre show. It's not like we're going to be interviewing them and then a snake comes out and attacks us.
No, I'm saying
we're going to be interviewing them and then be talking about like a traumatic event from their childhood.
I mean, there have been some people who have gone on the Eric Andre show and didn't prepare for it.
Yeah.
But then you'll get people like Tyler, the Creator, who comes on there and knows immediately what to do.
Or Lance
so like
Riddick.
if you put if you put Lance Riddick on the hard grill,
he cannot
I feel
be
like
hard
he
grilled.
would. Yeah, exactly. He would grill back. That's the joy of the hard grill, is that occasionally the grill grills you. You're on the grill.
He'd ask us what we're doing with our lives.
Yeah. You call yourselves podcasters? How many listeners you got? I'm sure we can do a couple episodes of that before we get like options to be on TV.
Oh my god. And they replace me with someone who's slightly more photogenic.
Yeah, they replace you with the corpse of Larry King or something.
CGI Larry King.
Yeah, he starts, because like Larry King is there for before the hard grill, because he never hard grills anybody.
It couldn't be Wolf Blitzer at least.
You know it's the hard grill when he just leaves.
He gets up and leaves.
Where's Mr. King going?
Now then, tell me about these allegations. Thank you for that question, Gio. I think we've given you an answer and then some.
Yeah. What was the question again?
Would you like to do weed with Steve Buscemi on the pod?
Oh yeah, we really answered that question.
Yeah. We picked the Steve Buscemi that we wanted to have on the pod, and it turned out we wanted
so
Steve
more.
Buscemi. We wanted a sober Steve Buscemi so we can yell at him. One of the most chill dudes in Hollywood.
Okay, so that's a no-grill episode.
Probably, right?
But Yuji Naka, we would grill in Inventor Sonic.
Yes.
Or a so-called Inventor Sonic.
I feel like Yuji Naka would be the guy, that's like a two-parter.
Fuck that guy.
You gotta invite him back.
Allegedly inventor of Sonic.
Allegedly. Alright, well, thanks for that email, Gio. Once again, that email address.
Mouse, sir.
That email address, tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com. But email, of course, is not the only way you can find us. If you crave that good, sweet TV content, well, why not go over to our Twitter account, @tvtuners, for as long as Twitter remains a viable prospect.
Ooh.
It's got Elon Mustard buying it.
Yeah, Elon Mustard's going to get in there and be like, this is a platform for free speech now.
Well, the bright side is he will unban Trump if he gets control.
That's the bright side?
It'll be entertaining, so yeah.
I guess.
I'm back. I'm ready for posting.
Anyways, this tweet of the week was brought to us by Elon Musk. It comes from @KennyBeats, Sleater Kenny, who writes, "Men will shit on Emily in Paris and then go watch Tokyo Vice like they aren't the same exact show."
I'm missing some important context here. What's Emily in Paris? Can you explain that, please?
Emily in Paris is a show that I only know about because it got like nominated for a bunch of Golden Globes, and then I think maybe won a couple, and like no one had really heard about this show.
Yeah, I was hoping we could do a Guess Who's On, a surprise round.
Okay, sure. Yeah, tell me what you think Emily in Paris is about.
Yeah, Keo, and then Swanson.
Oh, you know and you want me to tell you?
Yeah, I'm the one who opened up the Wikipedia.
Okay.
Alright, well, I googled the show just...
Oh, fuck you, Cloud.
But listen, I didn't see the description of it. I just see pictures.
Okay.
But I'll tell you this much. Emily in Paris. Emily goes to Paris.
Damn.
And she's like works at like a fashion business.
Oh, this sounds like peak Netflix algorithm.
Okay, here's my thoughts, and I'm basing this based off of just criticisms I've seen on the show without knowing anything about it.
Okay.
Emily in Paris follows Emily, who is like, I'm gonna say, late 20s, and she moves to Paris for like some sort of job opportunity or whatever, and tries to teach French people how Americans live life or some shit. So and it's told from like the viewpoint of like the American way is the right way. So is this
like one of those movies where there's a teacher in an inner city school who's trying to uplift them?
Oh no.
Yes.
Yeah, but French people.
100%. It's for some obnoxious 20-year-old to teach French people how the American way of life is Kino.
Kino? No. Tokyo Vice is Kino, Swanson.
The American way of life is not Kino?
Alright, so Emily in Paris follows Emily, a driven 20-something American from Chicago who moves to Paris for an unexpected job opportunity. She's tasked with bringing an American point of view to a venerable French marketing firm.
Okay, so I want to say I got most of that.
That was a very dirty round of Guess Who's On.
This is unfair. To me specifically.
Why is it unfair to you? I feel like I feel like I knew only slightly. Yeah, I feel like I only knew slightly more than you.
But you knew like all the details. I knew nothing.
Did I know all the details? I just knew what people hated about the show.
Yeah, those were all the details.
I guess.
And all I saw was that Emily was in Paris and she was wearing different outfits in all the pictures.
I'm looking at the cast list. And it seems like there are no immigrants in this Parisian set show. Oh, there's a Korean woman, though.
Well, that's because
so
people are wrong.
What this tweet is supposing is that women love Emily in Paris because I guess they want to see like France and stuff.
They want to see another culture.
Yeah.
And men love Tokyo Vice.
And men love Tokyo Vice because they want to see like a white dude be like, I'm investigating the Yakuza.
Yeah, not wrong. I'm gonna tune in on this tweet. It seems completely accurate to me. A very fair comparison.
This also ignores the fact that every trans girl on Twitter is a Michael Mann fan, as watching the show right now as we speak.
It's true, but Michael Mann did only direct just the one episode.
I think he directed another episode that's coming out.
Oh, okay.
I would have to double check.
What, Michael Mann? I don't know. Like the Michael Mann facts that I saw on Twitter?
Yes.
That's right, yes. Famed director Michael Mann of such things as Manhunter and...
Last of the Mohicans.
Heat. Thief.
The Insider.
Why aren't Michael Mann facts about Michael Mann?
Well, some of them are. Well, some of them are about his films.
It's true.
I'll ask him. Since we are mutuals on Twitter.
Oh, he did also direct Ali with Hollywood pariah Will Smith.
Yeah. And he was an executive producer on Shutter Island. Or The Aviator. Yes. He was executive producer on The Aviator.
Yeah, he was the original director.
I'm reading some of these Michael Mann facts, and one of them says, licorice pizza taught me that it's okay to eat a cheeseburger for every meal. And...
Is that a fact?
It's a claim.
I feel like most facts are claims at first.
True.
How do we verify this is a fact?
Well, Michael Mann Facts posted it. Trust us. Oh yeah, Michael Mann also was the producer on Miami Vice, the TV show.
And a director of 2006's Miami Vice.
Which everyone on film Twitter loves.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
It's good.
Huh, okay.
It's got Colin Farrell talking as J.C. Denton. I talked about this on the program several episodes
ago. Yeah, you have,
ago.
probably, at some point. Am I supposed to remember everything you've watched there?
Yes.
Let's see. Michael Mann facts. Michael Mann directed the pilot episode of Jersey Shore. Mann facts.
Wow.
I think this account is spreading dangerous misinformation.
I think this account is Chinese state-affiliated media.
Someone bought us a coffee just now. Interesting.
What?
Much to discuss.
Well, can I drink it?
Is it Michael Mann related?
Yes.
What?
7 minutes ago, someone bought us a coffee for 1981's Thief.
Wow.
Possibly
The one
this?
Michael Mann film I haven't seen that isn't also The Keep.
Interesting.
Somebody's got this podcast wiretapped.
Yeah,
Actually, I don't know if the timing's
someone's
right.
listening live.
I bet it would... I wonder who could have done this. There's so many...
I bet it was Larry King. You're on the air live.
It couldn't have been Fred because we've permanently gotten rid of that system. So
I don't think Fred
It's true. I don't think Fred could comprehend a Michael Mann film.
I feel like he would just be brought to tears. Like, in a good
Yeah.
way, though.
True.
Like, the end of Heat would just put him out for the rest of the day.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the final act of Heat would just like he would have to take a nap for like 10 hours.
yeah.
He'd just sit in his chair, like, slumped forward, like Kushida no Joe.
Yeah, so I'm tuning in on this tweet.
Yeah, I'm tuning in on this tweet.
I'm tuning in on the works of Michael Mann. And I guess I'm tuning in on this tweet, too. Why are we tuning in on this tweet?
That's
Good,
funny.
we feel like it.
Okay.
All right. Well, with all that out of the way, I have but one last question to ask. What you guys watch this week? Anything fun, interesting?
No.
Yeah,
I watched... You
I
go
have
first.
actually watched something this week. Can I go first since I never get to talk about what I watched?
Of course.
Because you never watch anything, you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I rewatched the first 4 or 5, I forget how many episodes of Better Call Saul.
Whoa.
In anticipation of the new season coming out Monday.
Oh, God.
This would explain why earlier in the episode you made a very obscure reference to Mike eating a pimento sandwich. And by earlier, I mean before we recorded.
Yes. So yeah, what an exciting program.
Yeah? How those first 5 episodes feel in comparison to where we left off?
They feel jovial in nature compared to where we end up.
Yeah, he's just going on a caper.
He's just having
As
a
opposed
brutal,
to
wild time.
As opposed to current day Saul, where he's going on schemes.
Is it weird that Tuco shows up in those first 2 episodes? Or is it fit still, you think?
It was very controversial at the time, remember? Everyone on the
Yeah.
internet had an opinion.
I think it works. I mean, like, if you're watching that show and you didn't watch Breaking Bad, it's not like you're super confused by it.
I guess it's true.
I mean, because Tuco's actor, you know, he can convey the threat even without the backstory of having seen Breaking Bad. Like, there's that shot of him peeking out from the door and he's just, like, very menacing.
The way he's non-verbal for a while and then yelling.
Yeah.
You know, he just listens for a while, kind of looking, and then just a burst of violence and shouting. What a
Do you think
great
Tuco
guy.
will be back this season?
I don't know.
I think he's kind of stuck in jail, so probably not.
He's got to come.
Yeah.
Well, he's getting out of jail, chronologically speaking.
Not
But-
yet. I think Lalo is probably dealt with by the time he gets out of jail.
But there is some news that informs my opinion on declaring this. I mean,
Oh, yeah, we'll talk about that, I guess. True.
so yeah. What else do you think, Kia? Anything else?
I just lament that I couldn't watch like the whole series before the new season came out because I don't know, real busy. Don't have time to watch things.
True.
I watched a
Yeah.
couple of movies. The most boring of which. Oh, did you watch anything else, Kia?
No.
I watched no movies. I watched 3 movies.
Whoa.
The least interesting of
lad.
the least interesting of which was Valkyrie from 2008.
Oh, that's the Tom Cruise kills Hitler?
Tries to kill Hitler.
And
gets executed.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's what I call dadcore cinema.
Oh, it's a grampy pleaser.
Yeah.
It's a geezer pleaser is what I was looking for.
I remember back in 2008 seeing trailers for this, and it was like Tom Cruise running from explosions and shit.
Yes, I do. I recall this movie being bandied about.
And no, it's just kind of a political thriller about a failed coup d'etat. I mean, it's kind of interesting to see how they try to manipulate the organs of the Nazi state against itself. But other than that...
But they fail.
Yeah. Tom Cruise wears an eye patch.
Mm-hmm.
And he speaks
so
German
not
for
as
like
good as Inglourious Bastards.
No, and also it's directed by Brett Ratner's.
Oh,
which kind of killed any enthusiasm I had. Or it just brought down the mood when I got to the credits. Because the last thing you see in the movie is an ending scroll, which tells what happens to everyone. It's like Hitler killed himself. The end. And you're like, well, at least something good happened.
It's like, don't worry, Hitler got his in the end.
In case you didn't read your history book, or go to history class, or listen to anybody talking about anything, it turned out okay-ish at the end, so don't worry.
I feel like the average moviegoer would not know who half these people are in this movie, because it kind of gets into depth on the people in the Nazi government besides the big names.
So it doesn't have, like, them trying to, like, talk to, like, Himmler or something?
Himmler does not get any speaking lines.
Dang.
Goebbels gets a single scene.
Okay.
Goring gets a name drop.
You know what I think about Goebbels?
Kind of weird.
Turkey?
Kind of weird.
Kind of freaky with it.
Well, what I was thinking was that he can gobbles this dick.
Wow, that's the kind of person you're into, Swanson? Okay.
No, I'm saying that he sucks, so he can fucking eat one.
Yeah.
All right.
I can either.
All right, and the second film I watched was High Risk, also known as Meltdown in America, starring Jet Li, which is a Die Hard ripoff.
Oh, Jet Li.
Yeah.
Or a bad Die Hard ripoff?
It's an okay Die Hard ripoff. It has good fight scenes, but it's got some flaws. It does this thing I think I mentioned on TV Tuners before when I was talking about, like, what was that Wesley Snipes movie where he's on the hijacked plane, Passenger 51 or whatever?
That sounds familiar. Sure.
Yeah, Passenger 51 does this part where he gets off the hijacked plane for, like, an extended sequence of the movie. This film also does that, which I don't like. And they have Jet Li has to kind of argue with the police to let him back into the hijacked hotel. And also, this movie kind of has like a co-protagonist played by Jackie Chung, who plays a bumbling Hong Kong martial arts fail-son movie star.
So not Jackie Chan, just like an incredible ripoff of him.
A guy whose name sounds like Jackie Chan's. This character was composed to make fun of Jackie Chan because the director had a spat with Jackie Chan.
Okay.
Prior to this.
That seems a little spiteful. And
the odd part is that this character is more compelling than Jet Li's character.
I don't understand that.
He's a bumbling oaf who kind of just cowers around and slapstickily escapes lethal situations, but he also gets the last fight of the movie where he redeems himself and imitates Bruce Lee. And it's pretty badass.
Huh.
And I think that they should have just excised Jet Li from the film entirely and made the movie about him.
The Adventures of Jackie Chan.
Yeah. He plays a guy named Frankie.
Oh, okay.
And finally, I watched Fateful Findings, directed by Neil Breen.
Oh, no. Is Keo aware of who Neil Breen is?
Not even a little bit.
How could you have committed suicide? How could you have done this?
Keo, imagine Tommy Wiseau, but he is American, and also he is, like, much more philosophical in nature.
Tommy Wiseau, and he's got a...
So when we say philosophical in nature, we mean, like, characters reciting philosophy to you?
Sort of, but it's not actual philosophy. It's just thoughts that the directors had.
Okay, if Tommy Wiseau is like Michael Mann, then Neil Breen's like David Lynch.
Yeah, it's like inscrutable works that you just sort of have to, like, take your own understanding of. Because nothing will ever be explained to you.
Like, the film starts with the two protagonists, Neil Breen's character and Womanson's character, as children walking through the forest. And they walk past this, like, bull skull with horns sticking out of it, and the skull turns to face them as they walk by. And the film never addresses what this is about. And then they find this, like, black cube in a mushroom in the forest. And they leave some gems there, but the Neil Breen's character takes the cube with them. And the lady writes in her journal, "It's a magical day." And it's completely blank except for that. And later in the film, like 20 years later, they reunite, and that's how Neil Breen realizes it's her. Because she drops it at a party. And it's still completely blank except for that. And also Neil Breen's character can, like, phase through walls by closing his eyes and scowling really hard. And he's a critically acclaimed novelist. But also he's hacking into the government and financial networks to expose their corruption and lies. And his therapists keep trying to nag him to take his medicine. And also all the women in this movie keep having their shoes off.
I keep waiting for Stare to be done. But there's just so much.
So this is a bad
There's so
movie?
much... It's a Neil Breen movie, Keo.
It's like above, beyond. It goes beyond.
It's like
bad.
The Room. You can't really categorize it in the traditional ways. Anyways, the movie ends with him holding a speech in front of the White House where he reveals he hacked the government and found all their bad doings. So, like, all the government leaders and bankers kill themselves in a montage.
Amazing.
A mass suicide?
Yeah.
I
Although,
hate to
like,
see it.
they're individually committing suicide.
They came to the same conclusion.
Yeah. And some of them do hold press conferences where they kill themselves. And by press conferences, I mean they're standing in front of a green screen.
Why are they doing this?
Because they were exposed for all their hypocrisy and lies.
Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Oh, if only.
So it's a
Also, there is
exposed.
There is a subplot about his best friend being murdered by his wife and his 16-year-old daughter trying to seduce him.
Now, is there like Tommy Wiseau? Is there a sex scene that goes on too long?
There are multiple sex scenes that go on too long.
Oh boy!
And they're all composited the same way, sort of like Tommy Wiseau's sex scenes.
Okay.
He's a big fan of having a shot of the clothes dropping to the floor, pointing at the character's legs.
Well, you gotta have that. That way you know they're naked now.
And there's one sex scene where the guy just walks out of the hospital after being hit by a car. His face is half covered in a cast. And his wife just walks in the shower and is like, "You can't be doing this. You're not well." And then they start fucking.
Okay. Tune in.
Movie of the year?
Movie of the year.
Yeah. Movie of this year. I have only one thing to discuss.
Oh?
I watched the Nicolas Cage film. Well, he didn't direct it, but he was in it. Pig.
Ooh, yeah,
What's
you
that
mentioned
about?
you watched this.
So this sounds, when reading it, like it's going to be like a
John
crazy Nick Cage joint where Nick Cage is a truffle hunter who has a pig that he goes truffle hunting with, and he sells those truffles that he finds to a high-end market. his pig gets stolen, and he's going on a journey throughout Seattle. Or not Seattle, he's going through a journey throughout Portland, I want to say.
That's so sad. He lost his friend.
Looking for his pig, and we uncover some of his, like, dark backstory throughout. And you think it's going to be like a revenge flick, like a John Wick type of deal, but it
like
is
Mandy,
actually just more of...
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, or maybe sort of that, but it is sort of just more of a meditative piece of work, but
It's
also very
movie.
well written. What, sir?
It's a vibes movie. It's a vibes
It is.
film.
It's an intense vibes movie, and the vibes, they pass. It's a good movie, it turns out. Yeah, it's Nicolas Cage and then the kid from Hereditary, and they're hanging out, and it's like it becomes sort of a buddy cop sort of deal, but there's no. It's like them trying to solve the mystery of where the pig went. But Nicolas, guys, dare I say, I think we're about to experience a Nicolas Cage renaissance. The Cage-assance, I think, is coming.
I would be happy to experience that.
Because he's got a new movie coming out, too, where he plays like a heightened version of himself.
Do we even have
I forget
a crazy
the name
guy
of it, but it's...
in Hollywood right now?
Yeah, probably, right?
That used to be Tom Cruise, but I feel like he just mellowed out ever since he
Well,
found his
Cage
plane.
also revealed sometime last year that he's like... the reason he was doing all these shitty movies was because he was trying to pay off his massive debts. And now he's finally done that, so now he can just do movies he wants to do. So I feel like it's time for the Cage-assance.
Mm-hmm.
And I say all of that because he is, like, he's incredible in this movie. He's giving an acting, like, he's giving an acting showcase here. It's great. He does so much without, first off, he is able to just, like, convey a lot of emotions just by stares and looks and whatnot. Mm-hmm. For, I want to say the first 20 minutes, he barely says a word. Mm. He doesn't interact with another human until, like, a third of the way into the movie. And yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. There are two separate monologues that he does that are really good. There's one where he is discussing with his friend, the aforementioned guy who's helping him search for the pig, about how life is futile, and he starts discussing about how the way Portland is set up, eventually the water will just swarm into the city, and everything will be forgotten. And then the scene just ends and it moves to the next thing.
Is he wrong though?
No, but I mean, like, it's a showcase of how broken the person is, and that all they can think about is what will be washed away.
Oh, well, that's what happens when you take a man's pig.
It's true, but yeah, it's a good movie. I'd recommend it. It's funny because it goes to some, like, it's not just a meditative movie; it's a very deeply weird movie too. Because, like, there's stuff, I'm not going to spoil it in case either you want to watch it, but it goes some directions where it feels like you might know where it's going when you watch it, and then it flips the script on you a bit every now and again. It's good.
I want the movies to be predictable, so that's a tune out for me.
Alright. I mean, you can go watch, like, I don't know, I guess there's a new Transformers movie coming out soon.
Oh, I'll eat that up. I want the movie to... I want to know exactly what's going to happen next.
Yeah. Oh, you know, Keo, there's a new Jurassic World coming out. You'll love that.
Did you hear that they're going to make a T-Rex that's like the Joker?
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. I think I posted it in our TV Tuners Discord, which you can find if you're a fan of the podcast. Yeah. It's in our description on Twitter. But... the director of the new Jurassic World movie, he compared the new dinosaur to the Joker. It just wants to watch the world burn, he said.
Which I think they already did for the first Jurassic World.
But don't all dinosaurs just sort of, like, how is a dinosaur like the Joker?
I mean, cats are sort of like the Joker, so maybe this... dinosaur just likes to knock things over.
I guess that's true. The director called his new dinosaur the thing I've been waiting to do this whole time. Imagine doing 2 whole movies and you've been waiting for the Joker dinosaur.
Well, I commend his patience.
It's true. I would have put it in the first movie if it were me.
I would have put like 3 to 4 Jokers.
Well, yeah, I would do 1 Joker in the first movie, and then the second movie I'd do 3 to 4 Jokers. And then third movie, all Joker dinosaurs. It's just Chris Pratt and a bunch of Joker dinosaurs.
Chris Pratt as the Joker against a bunch of Joker dinosaurs.
Yeah, pretty much. None of the other people return. Anyway, that's a tune-in on Pig, and
Film of the year.
Film of the year, maybe.
Film of the decade.
Maybe. Alright, well, with all that out of the way, let's get to the news, huh?
Yes. Quickly.
Alright, well, we were discussing Better Call Saul earlier, and oddly enough, there's a bit of a spoiler that's gotten out. I guess you can't really call it a spoiler when the co-creator of the show reveals it, right? That's just like them revealing a fact about the new season.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Well, in a recent panel, co-creator Peter Gould revealed that Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul will be appearing in some form in Better Call Saul, the final season.
Force Ghost.
Yeah, Ghost. I mean, didn't they already sort of do Ghost in El Camino?
Yeah, you're right. They can't do it twice, that's for sure.
It's true. Unless it's like Force Ghost. Yeah, so Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul, they'll be back. They'll be doing stuff. It'll probably be like a scene where Saul's like, "Bring in my next client." And Aaron Paul's like, "I need some help, dude." And
Yeah,
that's just the end of the episode.
That's the end of the series.
I wonder what they're actually going to do, though. I really doubt that they're going to have it become a seamless transition into the Breaking Bad universe through the perspective of Saul. That seems unlikely to me for some reason.
It seems unlikely to me, one, because this is all the series is pretty much a flashback, so it wouldn't make sense to end there. You're probably ending in some form with Gene, I would assume, and I don't know. Who knows what's going on with all that? I'm gonna assume it's probably part of. It's gonna take place at some point during Breaking Bad, right? Because I don't know. Stair said he had a theory on this. So
I did.
Didn't you say you were gonna talk about this more?
No, I said that. That's why I was bringing it up earlier.
You said we had news
that was related to that.
To whether or not Tuco would show up again?
Yeah, since.
So you think he will too?
Yeah, I think he will too, since we're getting into the time frame where he got out of prison.
I guess that's true.
Well,
I guess Saul would react in some sort of way if he heard that Tuco died.
Whoa!
He'd be like,
Do you think they're just going to redo the scene where Jesse and Walt kidnap Saul?
I doubt it. I don't know. I'm curious to see what they actually do with this one, because
yeah, because most of the lingering plot threads do have to sort of be dealt with before we get to the point where Saul Goodman is hired by. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the time frame being that close. So Saul Goodman is only around for like a year before Walt comes around and fucks it up.
I guess that's kind of fitting.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Here's Gold's actual announcement here, which I appreciate the candor of this, so I don't want to spoil things for the audience, but I will say the first question we had when we started the show was, are we going to see Walt and Jesse on the show? Instead of evading, I'll just say, yeah. How, or the circumstance or anything, you'll just have to discover that for yourself. But I have to say, that's one of many things that I think you'll discover this season.
Well, I'll discover it all right.
Vince Gilligan added that these two worlds cross over in a way that you haven't seen before. That's for sure. He said it would be a damn shame if the show ended without them appearing. Would it not? Yeah, sure.
I don't know.
I mean, listen, I'm not gonna get skeptical at this stage of the game about whether or not they're gonna stick the landing.
I don't know. I'm getting real scared.
Anything is possible.
What if they got some consulting from D&D?
Oh yeah. I for one applaud Keo for remembering the acronym used for the Game of Thrones creators.
Well, it would certainly be interesting. That's for sure.
Yeah. I like the idea that Vince Gilligan had a meeting with the Game of Thrones guys, and they were like, well, what you need to do is make sure that none of it fits with what you've written before.
We need to add a rape scene.
What if we reveal that Huel dies by holding the door open for somebody?
No, stop.
So, yeah, it'll all remain to be seen what happens in Better Call Saul. Hopefully none of that. So let's go from shocking news to, I guess this counts as shocking news. It's more of just a terrible idea. IMDb TV is, of course, a streaming service that we're all deeply aware of. We've all heard of it. We all know it, love it.
Or resigned to it.
IMDb TV is a subsection of Amazon Prime that is
Bizarre.
Baffles
Baffles all Christendom by its continued survival.
It hangs around. Well, interesting you say continued survival, because it is sort of changing the way we think about it by changing its name. Formerly titled IMDb Free Dive, it changed to IMDb TV, and now Amazon is changing it and getting rid of the IMDb altogether, as they should. It is now being referred to as Freevee. It's Freevee!
But they already have free stuff on their Amazon Prime service.
It's Freevee!
I suppose it is.
Freevee, of course, free as in to be free, and V as in VEE or TV.
Or
so this
you don't pay?
Yeah.
You don't pay for this?
You don't pay for this. It's free TV. It's what Freevee. It's Freevee. So the deal here is that obviously you can pay for like Amazon Prime and you get like a whole slew of stuff, but this is like free with some ads. You get some stuff to watch that you want to check out a movie that you've maybe heard of once. There you go. You want to watch a single season of All in the Family?
Yes.
Here you go.
Yes, I do want that, Swanson. Where is it?
It's on Freevee. Freevee.
I want that badly, and I want it right now, Swanson.
Well, here, let's have the director of Freevee, Ashraf Al-Karmi, tell you the whole premise here.
Okay, I'm listening. I'm waiting to hear what this is.
Customers are increasingly shifting to streaming, ad-supported premium content. And we have developed Freevee to deliver them highly sought content with half the commercials of traditional TV.
Oh, half the commercial.
Yeah, half. They took that number, half. Our new name clearly communicates who we are. An easy-to-navigate streaming service available to users for free.
You don't pay.
Whenever and wherever they choose to watch some of the greatest original and licensed content available. So yeah, I mean, listen, that Freevee, that clearly communicates it.
I know exactly what it is, and I want it.
Yeah, you hear that and you don't go, huh? What?
I want to get like the things that you don't have to pay for. It must be good.
Yeah, Freevee is planning to attract viewers with its slew of original shows and movies, like Bosch Legacy.
Why?
Oh, there's favorite.
Or Judy Justice, Judge Judy's new show, season 1 of which has 120 episodes alone.
She's really very active.
How do you make that many? God. Imagine being that old and still doing that much work.
Good for her.
She's working... There's also an original movie titled Love Accidentally, which stars two people I've never heard of, who will fall in love based off of some sort of they send a wrong text to each other deal. Anyway, it's the first Freevee original movie. That's gonna be good, I bet.
Yeah, guaranteed.
You can also get a slate of movies that have come out in the past year, like Doolittle, The Invisible Man, F9, and Sing 2.
In sync?
Sing 2. There's like I think there's a singing pig in that movie. I don't know. So there's a lot at stake here of Freevee. You can, it's not just a name that means a lot.
Yeah, there's everything you described there is something I really want. That's my full thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
Well,
much.
Jennifer Salk, head of Amazon Studios, did say, "We're looking forward to building on this momentum with an increasing slate of inventive and broadly appealing originals, and are excited to establish Freevee as a premier AVOD service." So that means stuff. That's words that mean a lot.
It's AVOD.
AVOD.
What's that?
It's AVOD!
AVOD is, I think, AVOD's the lady who comes door to door and sells cosmetics to you.
Oh, I don't like her.
Yeah. So I guess that's part of what Freevee does. Anyway, it's Freevee.
Well, I'm sure
That's
we'll be
it.
hearing a lot more about this in the future because everyone's going to be talking about it.
Yeah, we're practically. You can't shake a stick without landing on someone talking about Freevee.
There's too many streaming services. At least this one's free. I mean, can't fault them for realizing that they need to offer it for free, right?
I guess that's true, yeah. They have to offer it for free so much that it's in the name.
Yeah, they really want you to know that. No, please, you trust. You don't have to pay for it. It may not be any good, but it's free.
Please, God, it's free. Anyway, I because it's being funded by Amazon, I give it at least 2 Quibbies of a chance.
Yeah, that's fair, Swanson. You're tough but fair.
That is what people say. All right. Well, there is but one last thing to get to before our main event here.
They also say you have a strong sense of justice, which I
Justice.
don't disagree with. Yeah, that's what you said.
That is, yeah. In the dark of night. That's what I say. But in the shadows, when you're walking down the streets, you hear me go, "Justice," and you run away. And
yeah, why are you doing that?
this is what I do. That's how I let people know I'm committed to justice. So anyway, there's another segment here, of course, near and dear to everyone's hearts. It's Trailer Blazers. Hit the theme, Kyorain.
Oh no! Ooh! Ooh! Ooh!
Mm. Ah!
Is that the theme?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Okay. Good work. Yeah, so we watched the trailer for Stranger Things 4, the fourth installment of the Stranger Things franchise.
Yeah.
And yeah, whew. We're you know what, guys? This is a show.
This is
that
a show.
Involves some strange happenings, some
Well,
peculiar
it all seems
events.
normal to me at this point. I don't think we saw anything new.
Well, I am kind of amazed, actually, that it did take 4 seasons for them to get to the phase where they have a CGI villain doing monologues and stuff.
Well,
So
I was skeptical at first. COD's Season 3 ending was sufficient. But considering they're clearly moving away from previous tone and structure, I'm now interested too. This looks way more tripey, and the Upside Down will be explored more.
I'm interested in exploring the Upside Down. I can't wait to see how this relates to Russia.
Oh, God.
The Russia stuff's going to be weird now, isn't it?
Definitely.
Sure is. They Yeah.
Oh no, I forgot all about that whole Russia being involved thing.
Yeah. I don't know if you can make it out from the trailers there, but Hopper, I don't know if we
Is
ever revealed this.
Hopper's
Mild
in
spoilers, I guess. Do we want to
is in-
spoil? Is this a spoiler after
You
how
told me
long
this.
it's been?
We talked
Hopper's in
about Stranger
Russia?
Things. Yeah, we talked about. You had a Stranger Things spoiler cast, I think.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, he's in Russia, so that's definitely wouldn't have been a problem anytime until just recently. So
He's in Russia because obviously he didn't die. Why would he die? That would be crazy.
well, you can't just kill a main character. Come on, Keo. What do you think this is? A show of stakes?
No.
Well, you're correct.
I don't know. I guess not.
They couldn't kill off Hopper, but they could kill off the guy with the Jerry curl and the mustache.
Yeah, he was like made to be killed off. They specifically created him so he could die.
Yeah, they were like, that kid, dead. Hopper, alive and well. Just in Russia now.
He's hanging out, and there's crazy stuff going on. Yeah, like the feeling I got from this trailer is that basically here's what I'm picturing. They sat down and they had like an ideas meeting where
Peculiar Happenings season 4 idea meeting.
They were like, let's come up with the ideas for the show, and like they would just be like yes or no to the idea, and then like after a while they said, okay, we have 10 ideas that we've said were good, and they're going in, so let's make the next season.
It does sort of feel like they have a lot that they're just sort of throwing at the wall in this one, huh?
At least based on the trailer, which is just trying to show us like 50 things happening.
Which is actually, it seems accurate with what I've heard the producers say about the show, which is that like it's so jam-packed full of stuff that like all of the episodes are over an hour long. And they've split the season in two because it's so long.
Because they were not out of ideas. They actually had a lot more ideas.
Right. And they just couldn't fit them in the first two, the last two seasons of the show. They couldn't really find a place for them.
And they knew what to do with all their characters. The characters all had important roles to play in the previous seasons, and that's going to be even more so the case in this season.
Right.
All your favorites will be doing a lot of things this season. They're going to be all there, hanging out.
And I will say this much, which is that it does at least feel like they're not going to just brush aside the fact that at the end of last season, at least 20 people died from a goo monster. Like, were turned to goo by goo monster.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Because that would, like, devastate a small town.
I don't know if I'm just being a curmudgeon. Is that what you call it? Like an old angry man? Is that it? Is that the term?
Yeah, sure. You could be that.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm being that right now, but I would have been very satisfied with this show going one season and then being done, because I enjoyed the first season.
Yeah, it was fine. It was a good season. Good season.
Yeah, they're really kind of, I don't know. It's the vibes you look for in this program they're gone, right? They're doing different things entirely. So,
right.
What I enjoyed about it is gone. So maybe if you enjoy this new stuff, that's great. But for me, it's just like, oh god, what is all this stuff they're doing? What's happening, folks?
Yeah. What the heck?
And I'm not particularly. I guess the problem is I'm not particularly intrigued by this mythical stuff they have going on. It was never actually interesting. The kind of, what is it, sci-fi fantasy stuff they were doing. It was never interesting. It was just
the Upside Down is like the least interesting part of the first season of Stranger Things.
Yeah, it was literally just like not even meant to be understood or explored. Yeah. You weren't meant to be curious about it. You're just meant to be kind of like, oh, that's not good. How are these
Honestly, if they had spent more
this?
time exploring how the government was apparently just operating on children, That could potentially be more interesting than just like, here's a mythical alternate plane that I guess is just like creepy, spooky town.
It's bad. Like, and if you go there, it's bad. It's like
there's a very big guy who will eat you.
Yeah, there's a big guy who will eat you, and there's parasites. It's
but apparently
gross,
there's multiple guys, and there's a goo monster now, and now there's a tree man.
Yeah, now there's Groot Boy.
Yeah, it's not interesting. It's it's like creepy and like unnerving, but I don't care like what it is. Like I got a pretty good lockdown on what it is, right?
True. Yeah. Although watching this trailer, it does actually song choice aside for the trailer, which I'm sure Stare will explain to us in a second. Aside from that, yeah, they use a Journey song slowed down, of course, because you have to. If you're making a trailer, you gotta slow that song down.
And they also had someone say a war is coming.
Yes.
Which I feel like has exited the zeitgeist for a couple of years now. So it's extra dated.
Yeah. Well, it would be funnier if they had Hopper say it while he was in Russia.
Oh, that would make all the schizophrenics upset.
The Stranger Things creators are going to get in real trouble when they have Hopper escape from the Upside Down into Ukraine.
Yeah.
The thing that
Russian
really
troops are like following him.
The thing that starts to really strain my suspension of disbelief with this show is, why are these random kids important at this point when this is like a global thing going on?
True. Yeah, it should really just be 11 and Hopper, right?
Yeah.
If they did do a second season and it was just 11 and Hopper were solving another mystery,
with Harry Bosch,
that'd be better.
Yeah, it would be better for sure.
Because they remain the best two actors from the show and the best two characters on the show.
Yeah.
And the ones who might have a reason to be involved in anything.
Yeah, anything suspicious going on, yeah.
Yeah, like, realistically, these kids, they should just be like, yeah, we're not involved in this, we're minors, and we don't have any skills to do so.
The educational system has failed us for this situation.
Like, because it makes sense in the first season, because you're doing, like, a riff on the Goonies or, like, E.T., but when you get to, like, the third season did, like, a riff on, like, Nightmare on Elm Street. Or not even. It was, like, Stephen King shit. You can't have little
toothless.
Yeah. I don't know. So, I did find this thing where the creators likened this season of the show to HBO series Game of Thrones.
No, please.
In terms of, and these are the quotes here, it's sheer scale, runtime, and newer, more mature tonal shift.
There will be a battle scene with like 1,000 medieval dudes.
They've also, of course, split their characters across multiple distinct locations. 3, by the way, that's the distinct locations. 3.
They are filming in Ireland now for some reason.
Yeah, they're really forcing it here. I have nothing else to say other than that. I mean, season 3, I watched it, I finished it. I was not impressed.
I liked it more than you, but also it's been 3 years since then. Like, I don't know, I'm just beyond it, I think, at this point. Am I still probably going to watch it? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but, I'll probably... I don't know if it's a hate watching at this point, but I'll probably watch it just because.
Well, this is the thing, Keo. This is the next to last season. It's sunk cost fallacy. I'm through the halfway point. I gotta watch the rest of this dumb shit.
You absolutely do not.
I
watched 4 seasons of Game of Thrones, and I was like, nope, no more.
Well, I also finished that show.
Yeah, you were dumb.
That's true.
Yeah, correct. I don't think I ever watched the last episode of Game of Thrones. I think
You watched everything else on that.
That's amazing. That's actually the best way to do it, honestly.
It was like either I didn't watch the last or the last two. One of those possibilities. But yeah, I was just like, wait, what did she do? Why did she do that?
Honestly, I think ending your run of your watch of Game of Thrones at around the point where either the Night King is killed anticlimactically, or Daenerys does all the shit. Gets all up in the dragon and does some shit. Either of those is probably a good point to just be like, yeah, the show's done, right? I finished this.
Yeah, just like, yeah, I'm gonna walk away from this.
Better show if it just ended with her burning everyone else alive.
Yes.
Okay, good. Just making sure.
And it goes to a title card that says everything was pointless.
Oh, here you go, Keo. This will make you excited for the new season of Stranger Things. I don't think he popped up in the trailer at all. But Robert Englund, the guy behind Freddy Krueger himself, like the actor who made Freddy Krueger a thing, is going to be in this show, doing things that are vaguely familiar to that, I'm sure.
Am I supposed to be excited for that, or should I just be rolling my eyes? Was he that CGI guy who was scary?
I don't think that didn't sound like his voice is way too deep. I feel like I would have hit picture. Also, he didn't say bitch at all, so it didn't sound like it was Freddy Krueger.
Oh, that canon to.
Yeah, Freddy Krueger's misogynist.
Yeah, he loves saying bitch. Yeah,
that's crazy.
So if at the end the guy was like, "Your pain and suffering's over, bitch," then yeah, it would have been Freddy Krueger, but he didn't do that.
That would be badass if Freddy Krueger just showed up.
It's true.
Oh, that would make me interested in the Upside Down if those are actually just familiar characters.
Like Jason's there.
And Sonic.
Yes. Whoa, you don't need to be here.
I've been trapped in there for a year. The special stage ring took me there.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun, like a new twist on it.
And it teleports away from the kids, leaving them in danger from something.
Like they're walking around through the Upside Down, and they hear like they hear like a they hear like the Nightmare on Elm Street music playing, and then they just hear like, "Looks like you're canceled, bitch."
Yeah, I would be immensely more interested if that's how the Upside Down was. It was just like your favorite and least favorite fictional characters.
Yeah, and Freddy's there, and he's like, "Whoa!" And then a knife goes through from his chest, and Michael Myers is behind him.
Yeah. He's like, "My one weakness, a knife, bitch."
And also not being in a dream, I guess.
Oh yeah, he's like, "Looks like I'm awake." Anyway, yeah, we'll see how this season goes, but this trailer did not leave me excited. Also,
what
left me? Yeah, what did leave you like?
Well, to be honest with you, it left me completely overwhelmed, extreme distress, and overstimulation.
Oh, yeah?
You mean horny?
Is that what you mean by overstimulation?
And extreme distress?
Yes.
Okay.
It's basically, if you look it up on the dictionary, that's pretty much what it says.
Yeah, if you had like a political compass for... That would be where horny is.
Yeah.
True. So yeah, I think I'm going to get out in front of the bus here and just say that we won't be covering this on the pod probably.
No,
because
never. Not even if you buy us a coffee will we do it.
Well, maybe on that case. But mainly because Stare hasn't watched the last 2 seasons of the show.
But we can look forward to on Stairmaster's YouTube channel his video essay on it.
Yeah, the problem with
Stranger Things Explained.
Yeah, that's great. Do that. Stare, you should start doing explained videos where you explain things you haven't watched.
That's a good idea, actually.
All right. Well, that's with all that out of the way. It is but time for our main event. One last thing. We watched the show, and now we're going to talk about it.
Yes.
Tokyo Vice follows an American student named Jake Adelstein in 1999 Tokyo. who must pass an exam to get the chance to join the major Japanese newspaper and succeed in becoming the first foreign-born journalist. As he goes through this process, he also is taken under the wing of a veteran detective in the Vice Squad, starts to explore the dark and dangerous world of the Japanese Yakuza.
That's right.
Did Tokyo Vice give you the good vibes you were craving, or did it leave you
with the
multiple
pinky
stab
missing?
wounds?
Did they have
there you go.
giant LCD panels in 1999?
Yeah, I
Japan,
think so.
probably.
That's crazy.
Are you talking
How
about
could
this?
they do that?
That strip club scene in the first episode did seem a bit anachronistic.
That's what I thought.
But they might have just been ahead of the curve. Because there's later a scene at an arcade where they have period-appropriate video games.
Yeah, I don't. That's something to look into. I don't think that
Much to think about.
technology was available at all.
I
at
feel
that
like
point.
Michael Mann would absolutely make sure that's period accurate.
True. Yeah.
Maybe.
So I gotta get the elephant out of the room here first, which is that Ansel Elgort plays the lead character. He is an asshole.
But Swanson, he plays West Side. And West Side Story.
He's like the least interesting part of that. He's like dramatic actor Jai Courtney.
Oh no.
Which is that he is just boring in everything I see him in. And that's before we get into the sexual misconduct shit.
Oh no.
But anyway, yeah, he's in this, and I did just read who was originally slated to play the main character, Adelstein,
Ryan
and it would have been a
Gosling.
better choice. Daniel Radcliffe.
That would have been interesting.
I don't know if he would have nailed it. I don't know if he would have nailed it, but it would have been fun.
Would he have dyed his hair, or would he just...
I don't know. That's a good question, actually. It would have been interesting to see Daniel Radcliffe do both an American accent and then also try to do Japanese in an American accent.
That would just sound like an alien speaking Japanese, I think.
Yeah.
Watashi wa.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, outside of that, the rest of the show is a bit more, the vibes are a bit more heavy. Outside of that one part of the lead actor being boring
Rapist.
The two least favorite words comboed together. So,
Well,
yeah.
I think terrifying rapist might be worse.
I guess. Yeah, probably. But that's like interesting still, at least.
A 24% terrifying rapist.
So yeah, we get introduced to our guy. There's a lot of him just studying and intense music
we get
plays.
this cold open, this in media res scene.
Oh yeah,
with
this
Ken
is
Watanabe's character.
This is the you might be wondering how he got here, sort of deal. Yeah, there's this cold open with him and this detective Ken Watanabe plays, and they're heading
Going
to
to a restaurant.
meeting.
There's like 40 guys in a surveillance center.
Yeah, they're telling them like, hey, when you get there, sit to the back.
And do not accept anything they offer you.
Yeah, only order one drink. And then they get there and they're immediately like, there's been a change to your seating. You're just to meet them you're to meet them at their private suite.
They're like, okay, I guess we have to.
Yeah, they're like, oh, all right. And they do, and they hang out there. And
Mr. Yakuza's there.
yeah, Mr. Yakuza, he's like, welcome to my chambers, my illicit crime facilities.
I would like you to know, we will murder you if you report on us.
Yeah. And then it's just like 2 years earlier.
Yeah, well, Jake is like, can I have a cigarette while I think on this?
Yeah, which is cool. That's a cool thing to say, I'll admit. Someone just said that they're going to murder you if you tell a story, and you're like, let me think on that real quick. So yeah, they 2 years earlier, we meet Jake as he's like intensely studying every day.
He's teaching like housewives English at the rec center. He's practicing judo. Or Aikido, I think.
Yeah. All while, like, intense music is playing.
Yeah.
It's just his day-to-day routine.
Michael Mann is, like, just very interested in professionalism, competency, extreme discipline.
I mean, yeah, that's the... This first episode is slow, but I don't think it's slow for no, like, actual purpose. There's a reason to showing us how far he goes to be dedicated like this, because like you need to get some sort of feeling for why this guy is able to become the first foreigner to get in this prestigious newspaper.
And it's because he's a huge nerd.
I'll admit though, I was a little annoyed with the flashback thing.
Oh,
yeah,
but I got over it.
It is like a standard technique, right? Like it's like a okay type of deal, but at least it's like interesting.
Yeah,
it's not just like a flashback and then we're going to flash forward.
I mean,
like,
it tells you what the show's about. It's like, here's what the show is about. Here's where we're going with this. So the stuff, the boring stuff, the slow stuff, doesn't grate too much.
Yeah,
right.
It's going
it doesn't
somewhere.
feel like they're doing it doesn't feel like they're doing it just because they need to spread out the story.
Because this is only like 8 episodes.
Yeah. But so we eventually get to him. We find out he's some sort of like Yakuza follower, where he has
he's
like
a fanatic.
clippings. Yeah, he has.
He's a
it's
stan.
like he's a Yakuza stan. Yeah. He's got like he's got clippings of like all his favorite Yakuza members. He's hanging them on his wall. Yeah, this guy's a real fan. He even sees them at one point, and then the bodyguard like ushers him away with just a motion from his head.
Like no, white boy.
No.
No Yakuza, no.
And he's like, okay, got that, yeah. So we finally get to the portion where he's taking the test here. And
this is the most intense test-taking scene put to film.
You know, I can't disagree. I don't know if there was another intense test-taking scene, but it does seem very intense. I like that we're led to believe at first that he's just like real smart, because he does everything, and then he's just sitting there while everyone else is working. And then he turns it over and realizes that he fucked up and didn't do the last part.
Oh. Yeah, and I struggled with that because the back part was in Japanese. And I was like, what does this mean?
It's true. And also we get our first hint of subtle racism from Japanese people, where he shows up and the lady's like, this is going to be in Japanese, dude. And he's like, yeah, I know.
He's like, hi.
He says in fluent Japanese, yes, I know.
And they're like,
okay,
well, they're like, okay, well, you know that at least.
Hi, Tomo Jake Adelstein des.
So he turns it in anyway, and I'm sort of trying to figure out what he's doing here in this scene where he's just like, I guess he thinks he failed, right? So he's just sort of hanging out, lounging about. Because, like, there's a phone call from the guy who works under his apartment. And he, like, is sitting above, just hanging out shirtless, like, watching TV.
Yeah.
And then he goes back down, he answers the phone. He gets an interview with these 3 guys who work at the newspaper, and they're like, your writing is excellent. Your Japanese is written excellently. Like, but why didn't you finish out this back portion here? He's like, yes, I'm very stupid. And they're like, kind of interesting. Yeah, he bows.
He also gets like a very inappropriately anti-Semitic interview question series.
Oh yeah, where the guy's like, "You're Jewish, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Do you eat sushi?"
No,
like,
do Jews eat sushi?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, every day.
Yeah, there was a lot of that. In the second episode, a child calls him a Japanese goblin.
Oh boy, oh no.
Now this actor isn't even that Jewish looking.
No. He also says many people believe Jews run the media. Do you think that's true?
Yeah.
And he's got a real good comeback here where he's like, if that were true, do you think I would accept what you're going to pay me? And middle guy is like, middle guy's like, you got the job, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So they hire him. He's the first foreign guy to work for this prestigious Japanese newspaper. It's the biggest one in Japan. That's what they say, right?
Yeah.
They say like 10 million people read it every day.
Yeah.
So yeah, he gets this job. He comes in and they're pretty much like, you work for us now. Your life is meaningless. You are ours.
What's a normal Japanese office?
Yeah, as far as I can tell. And like we get introduced to his immediate supervisor, who's like a hard ass.
Also, his friend from outside of work. So
is she?
Awkward. Yeah, he's on he tries to address her by first name and gets shot down for it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
right.
she gives her shit for that.
Yeah. And he also she has an immediate superior who is like ultra racist. Like they're sitting there and he's talking to them and he's like, who let this tourist in here?
Yeah.
And then just like continues going on.
That's what I say whenever Stair comes on to the podcast before we record.
I'm like, who is this guy? Is he here to promote Calorie Mate?
Yeah, every time I see Stairmaster, I always say, who let this Gaijin in here?
Once it's like, is that Bob Sapp?
Yeah. So he gets this. They go to this bar to celebrate their last day of freedom. And
be able to see their loved ones.
Yeah, I like his Japanese friends here. I want to see more of these guys. His like two cronies that he hangs out with.
Yeah, his Krillin and Yamcha.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, the journalistic equivalents of Krillin and Yamcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, they hang out for a bit, and we get him in at the scene of the first murder that he sees, which is
this is such a beautiful scene because you just have this long shot of the guy's face, and in the background there's like 4 trains going by in circulation, sort of like a ballet. And I think that sort of ties into Michael Mann's fascination with these sort of cybernetic environments that we've created. He specifically said this in an interview talking about LA, how it transformed in the 80s and became like the cybernetic space where man and system were intertwined. And this scene we see like these social systems at work, like the routine police talking to the press while the guy's rotting in the corner and Jake is struggling to fit in there.
Yeah, he's literally struggling to be noticed at all.
Yeah.
And this
gears moving around, both
figuratively multiple
and literally.
Layers of dead.
Yeah.
I love that they just keep they keep the knife in him because the Japanese police, I guess, don't consider murder weapons as evidence.
Well, it's not a murder, as we find out, unless there's a witness.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Japanese court system has something like a 97% conviction rate.
Yeah, that's right. That's efficiency. That's what that is.
If they lock you up, they won't let you go until you confess. And then they'll, put you back in.
Yeah. I guess my major question is, so the entrance exam that he takes has nothing to do with actual how the law works when you're running, like how laws work in the country?
I guess it was just on-the-job training back then.
Yeah, I guess that tracks.
And nowadays you need like 40 years of experience to get in.
Yeah, to get in on the police beat.
The test is just like trivia, basically.
Yeah. The test is like, who's the best director in Japanese history?
You're like,
which is Beat Takashi.
And they're like, correct. You've passed. They're like, name a place where murder does not happen. And you're like, Japan. They're like, correct. So, he goes to this police briefing with his other writer buddy, and he sees this cop guy there who's like sort of the cock of the walk. This is our first introduction to Miyamoto. He's one cool dude.
One might say that his projectiles are warm.
That's yeah.
Yes.
And he's talking to his buddy. He's like, "Who's that guy?" He's like, "Oh, he's Miyamoto. He loves chickens." He's like, "I think they mean he loves chicks." He's like, "Chicks?" He's like, "Yeah, trust me on that one." And it turns out he does love chicks, not chickens.
He does not love cock.
No. I feel like he would be ultra offended if you said that to him.
And he would be unstoppable if he was bisexual.
True.
This guy he can get it.
This guy's a snack.
He's a king.
Yeah. It's true. He's a king if he's not talking to Gaijin women, apparently.
He's got to practice a little bit. He'll get it, don't worry.
Yeah. So he gets this assignment about this murder, and then he starts doing some investigative work, which is immediately just like not what he's supposed to be doing. Yeah,
this is basically like the ideal form of the journalism plotline from The Wire, I think.
Yeah. Only the thing is, Jake here is not making up a story.
No, I mean, neither was the guy. Neither was what's his name in The Wire.
Oh, I guess you're right. The journalist himself was not making up the story.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. He's checking this guy's mail and does some solid detective work in this. And tries to find the location of the place that he gets he finds a final notice.
Locked. Yeah. And then he goes to the address.
Yeah, and it's locked and empty. He's like, well, let me type this up into the story. I'm sure this will be fine. And immediately his supervisor's like, what the fuck is this shit?
But the crazy thing is that they weren't upset that he added more details to it that he looked up himself. They were upset that he just said that it was a murder.
Yeah, he contradicted the police.
Yeah, they weren't really mad about anything that he added. It was that he said murder. That's no good. So that gets thrown out, and he's like yelling at his friend. He's yelling to his friends about it, where he's like, "I didn't come here to just write word for word what a document says. I came here to be a journalist, damn it."
And they're like, "Okay."
Yeah, and I'm starting to get the feeling this is a man who's not going to play by the rules.
Well, yeah, because he does not play by the rules immediately.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's how I got that impression, yeah. So he decides he's going to track down Miyamoto, and he's like, "Hey, I heard you could get me an in with the cops or whatever. If you want me to get you a drink." And he's like, "Sorry, I only talk to Asian with tits."
He makes fun of him because he asked him to show him the ropes. And he immediately says he tells his coworkers the guy wants to do bondage with him.
Yeah, that's funny. And then he's like, "Hey, listen, if you can help me with Gaijin women, then maybe we'll talk." So they're talking a bit, and this one dude approaches Miyamoto and starts talking to him about some dudes who are causing shit. And so he has to deal with that for a bit while Jake's sort of just sitting at this club. I really love, once they go out and start hanging out at this club is when we get some real Michael Mann.
Yes.
Some real vibes.
The vibes.
Yeah.
You get the blue lighting.
So he sees this dude with this real ornate tattoo on his arm, the sleeve.
Oh yeah, he's washing his hands in the restroom.
Yeah, and he says a line that I feel like would get you murdered if you said it in real life to somebody with the tattoos like this. Where he's like, "Oh, you got tattoos the old way," and the guy just glares at him.
Yeah, I feel like if this had been in the 80s, he would have gotten his ass kicked.
Yeah.
But, the tides were shifting by the 90s.
I guess that's true. So he's at this club and he's watching this Gaijin woman appears on the stage. She starts singing. And this dude, this Yakuza guy is enraptured. And he notices, and then he calls her over when she's done. They start talking for a bit. And then it's revealed that she's
a hostess?
She's a hostess. And he's like, oh, interesting. All right, bye.
Yeah, the Japanese just have a club where you can go to have women talk to you.
Sounds like a profoundly lonely place.
I feel like literally everyone who listens to this program knows about that, but just to be safe.
I would assume. But, so he's like, well, thanks for the conversation anyway.
And then later he then immediately follows her to the Yakuza guy's table.
Yeah.
And ruins the vibes.
That's the problem. That's you can't be ruining the vibes here.
Oh, I forgot to ask, has Q ever seen a Michael Mann movie?
I don't think.
Know.
Have you seen
if he hasn't seen Heat, I don't think he's seen any of them.
I haven't seen Heat.
Have you seen Manhunter?
No.
Have you seen Last of the Mohicans?
No.
Have you seen that movie with Al Pacino where they're taking on the cigarette industry? And it's 3 hours long?
No.
What one was that?
That was The Insider.
Oh, I don't think I watched that one.
You gotta. But you got Russell Crowe speaking Japanese, which ties back to this program. Have you seen Collateral, where Tom Cruise gets in a taxi with Jamie Foxx? And hijinks ensure? And also the transporter makes a cameo at the start of the film?
No.
Oh. Well, I'm not
the capital T transporter?
Yeah. Jason Statham is there. He's like, think you dropped this, mate? and then Tom Cruise picks up a briefcase, and it's like Collateral.
All right, that makes sense.
Nope, haven't seen it. So it looks like I haven't seen any Michael Mann media until now.
So now you can never shit talk Michael Mann facts ever again. Or at least
so did these club scenes fulfill the vibes for Yukio?
Yeah, I felt the vibes. I was like, wow. What a vibe.
The only thing was missing was shots of the ocean. Michael Mann also loves bodies of water.
I'm sure we'll get to that, because you can't just film in Japan without getting shots of bodies of water.
It's an island surrounded by water.
And it's Tokyo.
Big water.
You demand water. Water's demanded. So, him and Miyamoto finally have another conversation at this, even more, the vibes get even more intense at the next club they go to.
This is a actual strip club, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, this is they're straight up in a noir club.
And this is where me and Keo were asking if this was anachronistic because they got projectors on the screen. Look remarkably high tech.
Those projectors, or were they LCD displays?
They might actually, in reality, they might be LCD displays, but I think in the show they're supposed to be projectors. I think Japan just puts more effort into their strip clubs than us. Yeah, another way that they're a more advanced. They're a more advanced civilization in every way.
Maybe so. I don't know. I was a little bit confused when I saw it. It seemed like they were just dancing in front of LCD displays with. To be fair, this isn't just a run-of-the-mill strip club. Yeah, this is a high-end place. And the police go to hang out. This isn't just some place on a derelict part of town. This isn't where Tony Soprano hangs out. That's true. This is not the Bada Bing. I need to get Michael Mann on here and put him on the hard grill about this, honestly.
Miyamoto, wash the shit off her tits! So, Miyamoto's like, hey, listen, I don't know how many times I gotta tell you this, dude, but there is no murder in Japan. Yeah. He talks about the clearance rates, the almighty clearance rates. And, I feel like Jake is still trying to wrap his head around the idea that's being displayed here by Miyamoto, where he's like, listen, man, unless there's a witness, there's no murder. Yeah. So,
he has this they have this conversation earlier about how a way to appeal to Gaijin women is to say that say you have an extraordinarily good looking, you're extraordinarily good looking, or your dress is extraordinarily good looking, and so he uses that line, and I guess it works.
Well, it works when it comes from him because he's a sexy Japanese man, and it sounds nice coming off of his tongue. We get the impression that Jake is not the guy who you should be going to.
He's very confident about his ability to give these tips, though.
Well, he's very confident in the way he presents it to Miyamoto.
Yeah, but when he's actually talking to a woman, he's like, well.
Yeah, when he has the conversation with the hostess, he's like, well, I guess I'm really fucking bad at my job right now, and
I eat shit. I am shit. I'm just a little worm. Everybody walks on me.
I'm a little worm that goes around and shits, and then I eat my own shit.
And they stole my pig.
I'm a little wormy worm.
My boss calls me a little worm, and I'm.
I have to sit there and take it because otherwise you use the K word.
And then they're like, "Oh," and she's like, "Oh yeah, another bottle. We gonna get another bottle or what?"
Another $5,000 bottle.
And this guy, I had a meeting with him, and he said if I publish the story, he's gonna kill me.
No, honey, that hasn't happened yet.
So, cut to Miyamoto's like, "Oh, there's the job calls," and I guess Jake just follows him there, right?
Yeah.
And we get this dude who sets himself on fire. Michael Mann also big fan of shots where people are on fire. Although this was like,
when I was watching this, I was like, "Oh, he's gonna explode with a bomb." It was actually something.
It was worse.
Yeah,
it was worse. Yeah.
Is this where? Do we get the scene where we find out this is super common in Japan? And there have been lawsuits over people doing it in their apartments.
I think that comes right after he sets himself on fire. Yeah.
But anyway, this guy sets himself on fire. It's fucked up.
Yeah. It's obviously like CGI flame and all that, but like they do linger on it for long enough for it to be unsettling. Yeah, it's a good effect.
That's not. It's no Samurai Cop.
It's no Manhunter
who gets up before the shot is over. Oh yeah.
It's no Manhunter in terms of bodies on
a guy on an office chair screaming as he rolls down a parking ramp.
Yeah. This is more terrifying than it is like... I mean, the Manhunter... I'm not saying the Manhunter scene is not terrifying, but this feels like...
That's not something that would happen to you, being kidnapped by a serial killer. But being driven into debt... Well, that's probably going to happen to us any day now.
Yeah, and that's when the lighter gets used.
I know that's how I'm gonna go out.
Yeah, I have enough lighter fluid left for that moment.
Well, it's time to take away Stairmaster's credit card. Apparently.
Well, that's just gonna speed things up.
Oh, you're gonna take the hard loans.
How do you think I'm buying food?
It's hard credit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't buy all your food on credit, Kale?
My life is in a bad place right now. My wife just left me.
It don't matter.
So yeah, this guy sets himself on fire, and
an
Jake's
entire
like,
crowd
listen.
watches.
Yeah, Jake's like, listen, we should like report on this story. Like 2 people died in like similar circumstances.
Also, I think his son was there. There's a young man calling him Oji-san.
Maybe. And his he's trying to get so that he can connect these 2 stories together, and his superior's like, no.
Oh, he finds like a what was it, a matchbook?
Yeah, which also has the same loan company symbol on it.
Yeah, it has the same the logo.
Yeah, they make matchbooks because smoking is so prevalent in Japan.
Because of the high stress.
Yeah.
And she's like, no. So he decides to do it on his own.
Yeah.
And we get this interview he has with the victim's wife, where she's like, yeah, we owed a lot of money. And these people kept calling. And then he died, and they stopped calling.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said
like,
Yakuza too. So
yeah, she straight up says Yakuza, and he's like, "Oh, interesting.
Something to think about."
Do you mean my favorite group, the Yakuza?
The guys I'm interested in.
The guys I'm sexually interested in.
Ooh, what a
That'd be a twist. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just trying to get in.
He's trying to get in. All right.
He just wants to hang out at the bathhouse with them.
Yeah. That's why he was so fascinated with the tattoos.
Yeah.
He's just trying to find Kiryu.
Going to the actual Yakuza is probably the worst place to find Kiryu. Considering he spends most of those games out of the Yakuza.
True. I think he'll show up in this.
I think he was in jail when this happened. 1997?
1999.
No, the fast forward scene is 1999.
Oh,
Go back 2 years to 19. Yeah, he was in prison in 1997.
Oh,
well, maybe he gets out and saves him in the flash forward.
Oh. No, it doesn't. Yakuza 1 takes place in like 2002.
Oh. Damn.
Sorry.
So yeah, he goes back to the crime scene and looks again, and he sees the ghost of the man who set himself on fire. And it's intercut with, this is a Yakuza ceremony of some sort?
Yeah. An induction. Some guys are getting promoted.
Yeah.
It's not as cool as the Triad ones, where they dress up in the ornamental wear and talk about how they're going to bring back the Ming Dynasty.
I mean, I guess that is cooler.
There's no swords in this. So really,
True.
they're just a small time. They're just a glorified outfit.
So you're saying the Yakuza on the records there? You're saying the Yakuza are a bunch of cosplayers?
Yes, a bunch of LARPers.
That's on the record, just so everyone knows.
If any Yakuza are listening, I am interested in pursuing business opportunities regarding the podcast.
okay, go on.
We do need a new line of credit.
Yeah,
we just talked about this.
It's this or the lighters, Keo.
The episode ends on a cliffhanger of, will this guy set himself on fire? And that's the end.
I don't think he's going to set himself on fire.
Oh no.
I feel like you might have misread the scene.
No? You don't think?
No.
You don't think this ghost is going to set himself on fire?
Oh. That raises a lot of questions. Why would the ghost set himself on fire? For whose benefit?
True.
Mine. I don't want to see him burn.
Yeah, that was gross.
Yeah, I went, ugh, when I saw that.
I was like, oh no!
So we've got a pretty tough decision to make coming up soon. So I've talked to the experts. They've given us an estimate
on whether you're going to tune in or not.
No, the amount of money we're going to need to pay for something.
Oh.
And the price tag is, well, we're going to have to pay $55,000 for it.
Yeah, we definitely need the Yakuza to help us out here.
Well, I know they're listening, so.
Resurrecting Pumpkin's is not gonna be cheap.
Oh, never mind.
Well, what? Oh no, we'll take out.
In fact, we want the Yakuza to make sure that doesn't happen.
We'll pay them.
Oh, okay. Well, we need $55,000 to prevent Pumpkin from coming back.
Okay. Done.
Okay, that's deal.
Okay.
All right. What are our final thoughts on Tokyo Vice?
Oh, I love it.
It was good. Tune in.
Yeah, it was good. I'll give it a tune in. It was slow, but not in a way where it felt pointless or purposeless. Yeah.
It's like The Wire, but with the bad lead actor.
Also, it's Michael Mann directing this thing. It's it's good shit.
You'd love to see every frame of it.
Yeah.
Every frame of painting.
Not that
Stairs watched more of this than us, spoiler, but I'm assuming the rest of it has been good so far.
Yeah.
All right.
Now that I know who Michael Mann is, I understand the Michael Mann Facts Twitter account.
We're going to have to make Keo watch the entire filmography of Michael Mann.
I mean, Keo, having watched this episode, I don't know if I would claim it to be a great introduction to Michael Mann, probably, but it is. Now. Yeah, you know who he is. Did you like the direction in this episode? Did it stand out to you?
Not particularly. It was fine.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's the most like.
Yeah, he did not go heavy
this is
on
the
it.
Aesthetic of Michael Mann sort of deal, but
compared to like Last of the Mohicans or
I think that's probably why this. It's probably something we'll get to discuss more when we watch Thief.
Yeah.
Which was a Buy Me a Coffee episode, by the way. And
thank you, someone.
Thanks whoever that was. If you need a reminder, by the way, if Buy Me a Coffee is a promotion we're due, where you go over to buymeacoffee.com/tvtuners and you buy a coffee for a single episode for us to discuss anything you want. One coffee equals a single episode. So naturally, multiple coffees could get you multiple things on a variety of episodes of things.
But remember, could is not the same thing as should.
Yes, exactly. As we're learning with our Cowboy Bebop series that we'll be returning to shortly. Not next week, of course, because there's a little show that we're all obsessed with that'll be coming back that we'll be discussing. But
yeah, Mobile Suit Gundam: The Witch from Mercury.
That's right. Comes out the same week as Better Call Saul.
Could you imagine?
I would.
Our friendship would be ruined by the.
I'd have to take a vacation just to watch it all. All right. Well, I'm gonna get. Yeah, that's a tune in on Tokyo Vice. I don't know if I said that, but it's a tune in. And I think that's our first tune in of the year. Congrats.
Crazy.
Wait, really? First tune in of the holy shit.
Well, we haven't done that many episodes this year.
We've just been doing Buy Me a Coffee episodes.
Anyway, that'll be it for this week. Next week, we'll be back discussing Better Call Saul. Until then, keep watching. Bye.
Hey, Keo, you know Thunderbolt Gundam? Yeah, Michael Mann movies are like that.
Oh.
It's over.
I found him.
Well, hey, folks. Time for the TV Tuners Fact of the Week. Did you know that Stairmaster is going to become Michael Mann in the year 2068?
My metamorphosis has begun. Extreme pain awaits.